Branson, Missouri, legendary shows, legendary artists, beautiful scenery, fun for all ages in the heart of the Ozarks. Welcome to Branson, Missouri and the Babe Ruth League's 2017 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series. Today's matchup will feature the U.S. Championship, southeast of Atlantic Beach, Florida, and Pacific Southwest from Hawaii. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Ladd, joined by Robert Faraday, Vice President and Commissioner of the Babe Ruth League. And Robert, we had a great game, number one. The second game, the U.S. Championship, should be just as nice.
We really expect it to be. These teams have competed so hard through their state championships, their regional championships, earned the opportunity to be here, to be in this big spot, and I think they're ready for it.
Hawaii versus Florida. How about that?
Baseball country for sure. They play a lot of ball, and it will show here tonight.
Absolutely. Erin Summers is our sideline reporter, and before we get started with the game, we'll have a report from her on the field. Erin?
Todd, you mentioned that this Pacific Southwest team came from Hawaii. Well, they're Milani KC. Now, the KC stands for Keep Calm. And if you watch them at all this week, they are calm, cool, and collected. That's kind of been their MO, and it's been working. For the other team, Southeast, Coach Larry Rollins said that, they just enjoyed the roller coasters and the bumper cars. But he was kind of joking. He said that's been a lot of fun, and confidence is key for them right now. They're hitting well, and they just kind of hope that keeps going.
All right, Erin Summers, our sideline reporter here, should be a good one. In Game 2, the U.S. Championship, Southeast, Atlantic Beach, Florida, and Pacific Southwest from Milani, Hawaii. It's coming up, the lineups in the first pitch, right after this. And welcome back to Ballparks of America in Branson, Missouri. Just about set for this one. Prior to the start of the game, our national anthem.
Please stand, remove caps, and honor America as the Hughes Brothers, stars of the It Show here in Branson, present their rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
The Hughes brothers from Branson, Missouri, and their IT show. Outstanding performance for our national anthem. The two teams introduced prior to the start of this one, and we're just about set for our first pitch. Let's check the starting lineups. First for Southeast, Colin Rust leads off, plays center field. Holden Bradshaw, second baseman, batting second. William Rawlings is a pitcher hitting third. Parker Sedgwick will bat fourth and play first. Malachi Witherspoon, followed by Kyson Witherspoon. Dustin Pettit Jr., Jack McGinnis batting eighth, and Nash Beenan is in the 9-hole for Southeast.
Hopefully this is the first of many, many years to come of you calling Branson home. We're so happy to have you all here, and I know I'm planning on seeing all of you next year.
Thank you. It's an honor to receive that proclamation. I have an award for you. I'd like to present you with our host community plaque in appreciation of Branson, Missouri for outstanding hospitality in hosting the 2017 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series. And I just want to thank you sincerely from the Babe Ruth League Board of Directors. You have an outstanding community, and we look forward to you hosting this event for many years to come. Thank you and congratulations.
Nice ceremony at the mound of the St. Louis field. That's Stephen Tillefson, who's the president CEO of Babe Ruth, and Karen Best, the mayor of Branson. And she will throw out the ceremonial first pitch of this second game. See what she's got. Branson taking off. Well, this is serious. Taking off the shoes, rolling up the sweater. She is ready to go. There we go. It's a strike right down the pipe. Just what you'd expect from the mayor of Branson, Missouri, Karen Best. And we will visit with her during our game here tonight as well. Karen Best, who's been at it in Branson for a couple of years now. She's a realtor and a businesswoman in the Branson area, and we have the umpiring crew and the two teams out there. You see the Pacific Southwest defense, Elamar, Miranda, Tallman in the outfield. You've got along the first base, so he saw Da Silva, Aoki, Ely, and the battery, Illarionoff and Takahashi. They'll be the battery, and the umpires wearing Smitty official apparel, the uniforms, official uniform of Babe Ruth National Umpire Association. That's Smitty officials apparel, and the umpiring crew in this one, the plate, Ken Pennington, he is from Arkansas. Rick Gazzillo from New Jersey, Chad Hips from Arkansas, Nick Helton of Texas, Keith Hogue from Mississippi. The umpiring crew, and Josh Weschler from New Zealand is the final umpire. We knew Josh because he had the patch on his back. He was wearing the odd patch, but he is out there part of this crew, and it looks like a close-knit bunch of guys. They're checking out the chest protector to make sure that that's going to withstand these fastballs by these two teams, Southeast and Pacific Southwest. So we're just about set for this one. Again, Robert Faraday is the Vice President, Commissioner of Babe Ruth League. He's been alongside for Game 1 and here into Game 2 tonight. Talk about the road for these two teams into this U.S. Championship game.
Well, it may be some of the toughest competition in the entire trail. We've got Hawaii, who has to win a state championship. Then they travel over to the mainland and they compete against teams from Southern California, Central California, and Northern California, as well as Arizona and Utah and Nevada. And Atlantic Beach, Florida, they play in the Southeast region, which has Florida, the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi. You know, they're competing against great baseball states themselves. They win that, they win the championship for the region and earn the opportunity to be here. I think we both know, and it'll come up a couple times today, that Team Hawaii, down to their last at bat, they hit a walk-off grand slam last night to overcome a very strong pitching performance by the Spring New York team, and they are probably just happy to be here.
Well, and you talk about that walk-off home run. You're looking at the player that hit that walk-off grand slam, Evan Ilarinoff. He is on the mound in this one. He has thrown in 4 games. He's thrown a total of 9 innings, as you saw just moments ago, giving up 9 hits, 2 runs. He has struck out 9 and walked 1, but he had a pretty thrilling moment last night in the bottom of the 6th inning with the bases loaded, 2 outs. His team trailing 2-0 came up. I believe it was the first pitch. He banged out of this ballpark to left center field. It was a walk-off win for this team, the Pacific Southwest squad from Hawaii.
Yeah, we saw earlier the umpires doing their rituals. There's a lot of superstitions. There's a lot of mantras that these teams have, but ultimately you got one more run at the end of the game, and they ended up with that. That's again, I feel just as heartfelt for the New York team that went through a tough loss as the excitement of the Hawaii team getting here. Here we go.
Colin Rust will lead it off. The center fielder comes in, batting .313 on the season. He'll face the right-hander Evan Ilarinoff. Pa'a is his nickname. First pitch is a strike called by home plate umpire Ken Pennington out of Arkansas. We're underway in this United States Championship game. The winner will take on Japan tomorrow night. Next pitch by Ilarinoff just misses outside, and that evens the count at 1-1. Holden Bradshaw's on deck. William Rawlings will hit third this inning. Next pitch is fouled straight back, 1-2 the count. Nice to see the mayor and the president, CEO of Babe Ruth out there before the game with that little ceremony.
Yeah, we're very fortunate here that the city of Branson has such a dedicated mayor. She was one of the first ones to say, what do we need to do? How do we get this to be here? And have supported it along the way, every step of the way. We've created this partnership with the Visitors Convention Bureau, Tara Alfonso, and Mayor Best, and I think it's going to be long-term.
1-2 pitch. Here's a base hit to right field off the bat of Rust. He singles between first and second, and that's how this game begins. Southeast with a man aboard. Southeast is a team that won their 3 games in pool play. They beat New England 3-1. They beat Nebraska 15-2, scored 7 runs in the first inning of that game, and then knocked off Missouri 7-0 on a 1-hitter by Parker Sedgwick. Pitch outside to Holden Bradshaw, 1-0 the count.
Right, both these teams here tonight were respectively first seeds out of their brackets, so we had a coin toss and determined home and away by doing that.
Runner at first, next pitch hits Bradshaw on the hip. Boy, that's got to hurt. Good hard fastball by Ilarinoff. And 2 runners on here in the top of the first. Nobody out, and it'll bring up William Rawlings. He is the opposing pitcher. You see Bradshaw limping his way down to first base, and they're going to call time. They need a little assistance over there. He's trying to get his strength back in that hip. Coach rubbing it out. Just underway in this one. Pacific Southwest in the field. Team that actually lost their first game of the summer in pool play. They lost to Colorado 3-2. That was the first game they lost all summer.
Yeah. Again, these teams play a lot of baseball. I'm just sitting here thinking, there's no rub dirt on it here at Ballparks of America. Well, do we rub some rubber on it? How do we phrase this now?
A lot of those.
That definitely hit him in an inopportune spot in the hip and on a bone, and he was feeling it.
Nobody out, 2 runners on. Here's a pitch by the right-hander in there for strike 1 to Rawlings. The opposing pitcher comes in batting .462, 4 RBIs. Southeast, no home runs in the tournament. They've swiped 13 bases. Here's a swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2 to Rawlings. Sedgwick is on deck. Evan Alarinoff from the stretch. The pitch outside, and the count is 1-2. Pause, what he likes to be called. Right-hander. Breaking ball almost got him there, too. 2-2 the count.
He's having a little trouble getting started here. Finding the plate, being consistent.
Big right-hander from the stretch. Checks the runners. Here's a swing and a chopper over his head up the middle. Fielded by the second baseman, Aoki, and he throws him out at first base for the first out. Basically a swinging bunt gets the runners to move up a base. Now second and third with 1 out in the inning.
Aoki made a very nice running. Got over the pitcher's head. He's coming hard, never slows down, and takes that ball and throws on the run. Really nice play. And advantage to have the runners move up, but the outs are important.
Parker Sedgwick will bat. Timeout called in the batter's box. Sedgwick comes in hitting .364. He's got 4 RBIs. Corners are in for Pacific Southwest, first and third defensively. About halfway up the middle as well. If they got to play at the plate, they'll take it. Pitch right down the pipe, strike 1. 0-1 to count. Just underway in this one, game 2. Here tonight, this is the U.S. Championship game. Japan claimed the international title. Breaking ball, swing and a miss by Cedric, and the count is 0-2. Malachi Witherspoon is on deck. Umpiring crews, you've got 1 at each base, 2 in the outfield. Pitch just misses outside. Good 0-2 pitch there. 1-2 now to Sedgwick. 1 out, 2 runners on. Southeast trying to jump on top early. Next pitch is a fastball. Letter high, a swing and a miss by Sedgwick for the first out.
And finally, Larinoff looked a little more comfortable facing Sedgwick, and high fastball, moved his eyes, made him go for it.
2 outs in the inning now, and it brings up Malachi Witherspoon, the catcher, hitting .375. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Good fastball there by Larinoff. 0-1 to count. Defensively moving back on the right side anyway. Third baseman still even with the bag just in case. Here's a swing and a miss on a hard fastball inside. 0-2 the count. Well, Larinoff trying to get out of this.
We see he didn't have command of the curveball. Whether just stick with the fastball and try and end this right here.
Challenge these hitters early. Here's the 0-2. Just outside. Boy, he popped the mitt on that. 1-2 the count, 2 outs in the inning. Beautiful evening here in Branson, Missouri. Pitch hits him.
Got him.
Second batter hit, and that loads the bases up here in the top of the first. So 2 batters hit and a leadoff single. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. And it'll bring up Kyson Witherspoon, the shortstop. Kyson batting .417 in the tournament. Now these teams have played 5 games coming in, so 1 extra game, not a huge difference, but pitching-wise probably more so than the international teams. They had to throw for an extra game, which maybe 2 pitchers wasted in that extra game. You say wasted, right. You have to throw them.
Well, so we play the pool play, and you start to see who's going to advance and which games we need to win to move on and play. And then, of course, you move into single elimination, and there's no holding back. You need to win in advance.
There's a swing and a chopper to second base. Aoki fields and throws over to first base to end the first half inning. In the inning, 1 hit. Bases loaded, 3 runners stranded. No score heading to the bottom of the first. Pacific Southwest coming up. Back to the Babe Ruth League's 2017 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson, Missouri. Pacific Southwest batting order here. Poapawa will lead it off. Aoki, Alarinoff, De Silva, Takahashi, Elamar, Suhisa, Tallman, Miranda, and Ely. William Rawlings will get the start for Southeast. Right-handed pitcher. He's thrown in 4 games, 5 innings. He's given up 2 hits. 1 run. He struck out 5 and walked just 1. So Poapawa will lead it off. He comes in batting .500 with 3 homers and 3 RBIs. Zarin Poapawa.
Actually, I think we've had a change since they turned the lineups in. Oh, I think you got it.
Yeah.
Okay. You caught that. Good work, Tom.
Yeah, actually, the DH, they started him. He was going to play short, and they made a change just before the game.
Right. He's he for Babe Ruth League, all of our divisions, we use an EH, extra hitter. Allows more kids to be in the game. We don't use the DH as it designates a player not getting a chance to hit. The extra player can be used as any other starter. He's eligible for re-entry as a starter.
2-0 the count. Here's a swing and a chopper to third, picked up by McGinnis. And he throws over to first for the out. So Poapawa with the first out for Pacific Southwest out of Mililani, Hawaii. Good chop there. Tailor-made for McGinnis. Tanner Aoki will bat now. Comes in hitting 167 with a couple of RBIs. Now this Pacific Southwest team, 11 homers in the event.
Yeah,
and you look at it, you've got 3 by Poapawa. Aoki hasn't hit any, but Ilarinov has hit 4, and then their cleanup hitter De Silva 3. So 11 home runs in this lineup.
And here Aoki doesn't have the highest batting average, but he's made the most of it with 2 RBIs. There's a lot of power on this team. No home run bigger than the one that Ilarinov hit last night.
Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. Crazy. There's a pitch outside. The count is 1-2. Doesn't get much bigger than that for a youngster. Walk-off home run to advance into a championship game. He'll remember that the rest of his life. Here's a swing and a foul straight back. 1-2 the count.
Just back to the extra player again. We really believe in the participation and the opportunity to get all the players in the game. So this gives another spot to the manager and coaches to use as they feel best. The only caveat to it, the only difference is if you start with 10, you must end with 10. So some teams use 9, some teams use 10. It is an option as you go into the game.
And this team, Pacific Southwest, using 10 in this one. Another foul by Aoki, and the count remains 1-2. He fights off a couple good pitches by William Rawlings. Again, 4 games, 5 innings, given up 2 hits, just 1 run. Has struck out 5 and walked 1. Right-handed pitcher. Pitch. Got him on the outside corner. I don't know if that was a swing or if that was a called strike, but a strikeout nonetheless. 2 outs in the inning. And it'll bring up, here's the pitch. Curveball. Did he go around, or was that a called strike? Regardless, 2 outs in the inning. And Evan Ilarinov will bat. 4 home runs, hitting .727 in this tournament. Did it hit him? And he says yes. The home plate umpire asks him and sends him to first base.
Thought he caught his jersey there.
And it'll bring up Kyler De Silva now. Well, it's one way to pitch around him.
I'm surprised you didn't say no. Stick in there and take a couple hacks.
Kyler De Silva hitting .417. He's hit 3 out. There goes the runner from first. And Ilarinov with the stolen base. That's his 4th stolen base of the tournament. Runner in scoring position here. 2 outs. 1-0 the count to De Silva. Zachariah Takahashi is on deck. No score, bottom of the 1st. Rawlings working from the stretch here. Runner at second. Lights are on here at the St. Louis Field, Ballparks of America. Here's a pickoff move thrown into center field. But good backup there by the center fielder, Rust, to get that ball in. He broke on the throw. Rust able to bring it in quickly. Good hustle by left-handed center fielder.
I think these teams, while they are certainly tournament tested, played a lot of games, you're in the World Series championship for the U.S. division, competed to get here tonight, and a little case of nerves maybe.
Here's a swing and a shot to center field right at Rust. He makes the catch. Didn't even have to move to retire De Silva for the 3rd out. Here in the 1st inning, we played 1. There's no score between Southeast and Pacific Southwest. Scoreless game heading into the second, joined by Vice President and Commissioner of the Babe Ruth League, Robert Faraday. Erin Summers is reporting she has the mayor of Branson, Karen Best. Erin?
Karen, what does it mean to have this event here in Branson to the community?
This is very exciting. We love welcoming the kids. We get to see them play baseball, and they get to stay here, and they get to play and have all the fun that we have to offer here in Branson. So we're looking forward to having them the rest of the tenure, hopefully, of the Cal Ripken 70 series.
And you're going to keep throwing strikes like you did earlier?
I hope so. That was a tough one because I didn't get to warm up before throwing, so you never know where it's going to go.
We did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Todd.
All right, Erin, thanks. She rolled up her sleeves, took off her shoe. I mean, she had it all going on. There's no doubt about it. Great job by Karen Best, the mayor. Again, she's been mayor of Branson since 2015. Before that, teacher and principal. Love educators that get into politics like that.
My mom's a teacher, so I love them. The analogy of rolling up her sleeves, that's what she does every day for Branson. And again, she's been a catalyst for us being here this week and hopefully for many years in the future.
Pitch a strike by Alarinoff to Dustin Pettit Jr., the left fielder. McGinnis on deck, and Beenan will hit third for Southeast. Next pitch misses away. So probably these two teams wouldn't meet during the regular season at any point, right? Hawaii and Atlanta,
not at
Beach,
all. Right.
Florida.
A little bit away from each
Yes.
other. It's a tough road trip. I don't know if it's home and home.
No. Pitch in the dirt. 2-1 to count.
One of the things that you have here, though, at the World Series and what we work very hard to do is to highlight all parts of the country. You have regional championships. So we have teams here from New England, of course, the Pacific Southwest, Hawaii, and as far down as Florida. Throw in the world competition, and it's really making the world a smaller place. Everybody's here to play good, hard baseball.
2-2 the count. Good fastball there by Alarinoff. Next one swung on and fouled straight back. 2-2 the count. Pettit Jr. hitting 125 in the World Series with 4 RBIs. I would imagine being mayor of Branson, Missouri is unlike a lot of cities in the U.S. with all the activities they've got. Here's a swing and a miss by Pettit Jr. Strikeout. First out of the inning. Second strikeout for Alarinoff. You'll see the pitch here. It looked like a screwball, didn't it?
Moved away.
Yeah.
Moved away. Yeah. Again, for our players, the opportunity to go into the community, have so many things to do. The shows here for the families. There's a lot going on. And, Tom, you know this from being a local in Springfield. The size of the community does not match their tourism numbers. They entertain 10 million plus people a year with a population of maybe around 9,000 for the city of Branson. That's a lot of people doing a lot of work.
Pitch misses. Next one is a strike, and not to get political, but they trying to cut a little bit of the revenue from tourism in the state, and that's not going over real well in this part of the state. This is a big part of the tourism industry in the state of Missouri, Branson, Springfield, with what they've got going on. And new governor not making a lot of points, cutting budget in tourism. So hopefully that changes and things continue the way they are. This is such a great place to visit, and having events like this showcase the ballparks of America and everything that goes on here. Well, these people come back. Here's a pitch on the outside corner for strike 3.
Well, you're absolutely right. And we work specifically with the Visitors and Convention Bureau, their sports division, to attract a new type of program here, not people coming in just for the shows. They're here to play baseball and take advantage of other things. Look, 24 teams of young men and their families here taking advantage of everything they have to offer. The outdoor life, the golf courses are becoming something that's pretty special around the world that's here in Branson. And again, our families were exposed to that and had a lot of fun off the field and on it.
Foul ball. Here's a swing and a shot to center field. Miranda under it. He's handled it for the third out. So a 1-2-3 inning for Alarinoff here in the second. We head to the bottom of the second. A scoreless game between Southeast and Pacific Southwest. Welcome back to Babe Ruth League's 2017 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson, Missouri. We're at the Ballparks of America. This is the St. Louis field. You'll notice the big arch in the outfield. Replica of the St. Louis field, which is now Busch Stadium, or Busch Stadium number 2.
Right.
But these are all replica fields at Ballparks of America. You've got Chicago Field, little ivy in the outfield. We got Fenway Park, which has the green monster.
Boston Field.
Boston, yep. Zechariah Takahashi will lead it off here in the second for Pacific Southwest. All 2/3 replica of the Major League Baseball fields, which is neat.
I don't think I've seen anything go across the country in a wave like the green monster concept. You know, it's so tough with not having enough baseball fields and trying to make them bigger. Well, let's just take the fence up and make it harder to hit it over it. And that's the optimum. And leagues have used it to do advertising on. Again, it's created an interesting dynamic for the players that play in different stadiums that have the green monster, and kids have a lot of fun with it. Swinging strike.
Yep, throw down to first base by the catcher Malachi Witherspoon. Retires Takahashi for the first out. Second strikeout now for Rawlings, and it'll bring up Jace Elomar.
Did a nice job. Got down on his knees, caught it in his chest, stayed in front of him, and he was able to pick it up and calmly make the throw. Very nice play.
Bottom of the second, no score in this one. Here's a pitch, swing, shot to shallow center field. Coming in, Rust. Good jump on that fly ball in center field. Rust looks like a solid outfielder for Southeast. 2 outs in the inning now. And it'll bring up Braden John Suhisa. You see the inside-out swing, ball to center field, and read beautifully by the center fielder. 2 outs, swing and a miss.
Rawlings seems to be the type of pitcher that wants to pitch to contact, and he's just trying not to hit the fat part of the barrel, and he got that a little bit on in hands and got another out with not throwing a lot of pitches.
Yeah, uses defense. Strike in there, 0-2 the count. Plus, he's around the plate. 2 strikeouts. He doesn't miss by much. 0-2 the count. Next one by the right-hander, swing and a miss, and another 1-2-3 inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 for the game for Rawlings. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Scoreless game heading into the third, Southeast and Pacific Southwest. Scoreless game heading into the third inning, Southeast and Pacific Southwest. Robert Faraday along with Erin Summers, our sideline reporter, and she has another special guest.
I'm here with Stephen Telfson, the president and CEO of the Babe Ruth League. Now, where do you see this Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series going? The league itself, you know, it's a recent addition in 2007.
Yes. For the Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series, we see that growing greatly in the near future. You know, youth baseball has, as a whole, has been on a decline the past several years. But last year, 2016, we had great growth in the Ripken division. And this year, we don't have the final numbers in yet, but it looks like we're going to have another positive growth. And the other really, really positive thing about the Cal Ripken division is during the months of July and August, we have had probably the most inquiries from other leagues about affiliating with Babe Ruth League. So it's all very, very positive.
Good. Well, it's been a great event so far this week, and everyone's excited to be here.
Yes, it's been a great event, and the community of Branson really has embraced the World Series, and we look forward to coming back again here next year.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Todd?
All right, Stephen Tellefson, Babe Ruth president, CEO, took over for a legend, didn't he?
He did, and Ron Tellefson, his father, was one of the guys that put it on his back, the type of guy you'd run through a wall with, and he'd lead you through the charge. Stephen has made every decision since he's become president, CEO, is what's the best thing for the players we serve. He thinks of them first and foremost, and is a very good leader for our program moving forward for many years to come.
Larinoff 1-1 to count to the leadoff hitter, Colin Rust. Rust singled his first time up. He's 1 for 1. Pitch by the right-hander, misses outside. Stephen Tellefson played Babe Ruth baseball at Hamilton Township, New Jersey back in the day.
Yeah, he was a Babe Ruth alumni, now leading the program, and I think he says he was a pretty good basketball player, but doesn't have the stats to back it up.
High and tight there, 2-1, make it 3-1 to count now to Colin Rust. Holden Bradshaw on deck. Big fan of Mickey Mantle, from what his bio says. Not a bad guy to look up to as a player, Mickey Mantle. From
he was born
near around here, as a matter of fact, Commerce, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Steve was born in New York, and a little Yankees background.
Full count, 3-2 to Colin Rust. Comes in batting .313 in the event.
It's interesting.
Here's a swing and a ball right back up the middle, and that'll squeak through for an infield single. Rust now 2 for 2 in the game.
Hit them where they ain't. That was right up the middle, and managed to knock it down, but not able to make a play. We were talking about our Babe Ruth alumni and how proud we are of our Major League Hall of Famers and our multi-sport athletes and leaders of industry and entertainment. But here we are having one of our alumni actually leading the program, and it makes a difference. You know what type of program we really want to have the kids enjoy.
Runner at first, nobody out. Pitch just outside, 1-0 the count to Holden Bradshaw. Hit by a pitch his first time up. He was stranded. No score, third inning. 2 hits in the game, both by Southeast and both by the runner at first base, Colin Rust. Larinoff with the next. Again, outside, 2-0 the count.
Babe Ruth is very fortunate that actually our board of directors move up through the ranks. They had been coaches in the program, league presidents, managers, officers, and they move up to become state commissioners, regional commissioners, and serve on our board.
Ball gets away from the first baseman. Ely may have hit Rust. He is down on the bag. Gets up slow. And he'll be okay. He's going to walk it off down that first base line. Scoreless game.
Southeast team, our Florida team's getting a lot of Rawlings tattoos here today.
Was it a player from Southeast that was hit by a foul ball, an errant foul ball through a car window?
He was driving away from the ballpark. A foul ball came over one of the fencing in the outer fields, came through the window and hit him.
I think that was Pettit Jr. that was hit. He's in the starting lineup. Pitch a strike, 2-1 to count.
They don't miss a pitch, they don't miss a game.
Nope.
Tough players.
2-1 to count, nobody out, runner at first. There goes Rust from first, and the ball gets away from the catcher. 3-1 to count to Bradshaw. An RBI opportunity here. Takahashi let that one slip past him to the screen. Runner at second base now. We're in the third inning, game 2. The winner will take on Japan tomorrow night. They won 9-1 over Mexico. Here's a check swing, did not go around, says the home plate umpire Ken Pennington. And runners at first and second now for Southeast. Nobody out, and it'll bring up William Rawlings. Rawlings grounded out to second his first time up. Basically a swinging bunt his first time. Larinoff pitch hits the outside corner for strike one. Good fastball there.
Larinoff needs to have a pitch. It just goes to the fastball, calms himself.
Been a timely hitting team from Southeast. No home runs, but they just hit up and down the lineup. Timely's been the key. Timing, I guess. Pitching has been solid, not overly dominant, but solid.
Right.
You get to the championship game, you have something that stands out. Well, they've got everything that's pretty darn good. Here's a ball hit to the right side. Second baseman going to throw across the field. Ball was not hit hard. Aoki picked it up, didn't have a play at first. Nobody covering the bag at first. And that'll be an infield single for Rawlings, and the bases loaded, nobody out here.
Larinoff was heading there just a little late, and I think Aoki kind of ate the ball rather than maybe throw it away. And
threw behind the runner at third. Bases loaded here, nobody out for Southeast. Chance to get on the board first here. Larinoff from the windup with the bases loaded, nobody out. Pitch is low to Sedgwick. 1-0 the count. He struck out his first time up.
Parker's done a lot of pitching. He's not eligible to pitch in this game. And
they threw a one-hitter in this tournament against Missouri. Pitch is high, 2-0 the count. No place to put this batter. Bases loaded, nobody out. Corners are in for Pacific Southwest. Here's the 2-0 by Larinoff. Swing and a pop-up right side, and then it'll go into the stands. Somebody protect Aaron over there. Make sure she's not hit. 2-1 to count. Malachi Witherspoon on deck. Bases juiced. Here's the pitch. Another foul ball straight back. And the count is 2-2. No activity in the bullpens for this one yet. Been 3 hits in the game for Southeast. Right-hander's pitch, a swing and a miss by Sedgwick. He strikes out. First out of the inning. 4th strikeout now for Larinoff, and it'll bring up Malachi Witherspoon. Grazed by a pitch his first time up. Here's the pitch.
Tough time. I thought it hit him right on the funny bone, so we'll go with grazed.
Pitch is high, 1-0 the count. So it looked like a little bit of a slider thrown that time by Larinoff. Broke a little bit. Here's a swing and a chopper right side. Knocked down by the first baseman, Ely. And the runner diving head first into first is safe. A run scores, and Southeast gets on the board here. In the third inning, they lead it 1-0.
Larinoff got off the mound, got to first. He just, because of where the first baseman was delivering the ball from, he got himself turned around, could not find the base. Very hard play to make. Made the good effort.
Now watch the hustle by the batter Witherspoon. Head first dive. Gets his hand in there before the foot of Larinoff. 1-0 Southeast. Here's a swing and line drive to center field. Catch made by Miranda. He'll fire one in to the catcher, keeping the runners at bay. Good play by Miranda in center field.
Not hit deep enough to really be sure you're going to tag up, so you've got to go back and wait. And most of these outfielders certainly have a strong arm.
There's momentum carrying him in anyway, so on the run he was able to throw into home and had good momentum behind the throw. 2 outs now, and it'll bring up Dustin Pettit Jr. He is the player we were talking about that was hit in the parking lot through a car window.
I'm having a hard time imagining it, but they said it happened.
Anything can happen in Branson, Missouri. Just remember that. Here's a swing and a foul ball down the third base line. 1-1 to count to Pettit Jr. 125 batting average, struck out his first time up. Southeast on top of Pacific Southwest here in the third. Winner gets Japan tomorrow night. Here's a swing, another foul ball. Netting really protects the fans here. Goes way past the bags down each line.
They're very much prepared to continue to add to all the stadiums here, add seating, add additional structures to the ballparks, and the netting's up in place to protect the fans.
1-2 the count here. Larinoff ready from the windup. Here's the pitch. Just outside, 2-2. 3 hits in the inning. Next pitch by the right-hander, another foul ball by Pettit Jr.
Staying alive. This is a big spot in the game here. Larinoff can get out of the trouble. The Southeast can take advantage.
Battling, that's the thing. That's the key for Southeast in this tournament. Next pitch just a little bit low, and the count is full at 3-2. Bases loaded. Oh, this is the great situation here in baseball, isn't it? Bases loaded, 2 outs, everybody taking off on the pitch.
Top of the third, but it could have big implications.
There they go. Pitch outside, ball 4. And another run walks in. 2-0 Southeast on top.
That's why you don't want to get to that 3-2 count. No margin for error.
Larinoff with his second walk of the inning, second walk of the game. There's 2 outs. Jack McGinnis will be the batter, meeting on the mound here with Larinoff. Well, it was 2-0 yesterday for this Pacific Southwest team, so they don't mind being down. They'd rather not, obviously. Nobody wants to be down, but they don't mind being down. They feel like they can come back.
They certainly have a memory bank of what happened, but I think that's a very true statement of almost every team that's here, that they've been down. They've lost a game somewhere in the tournament trail and still prevailed. They've been down a few runs, maybe had a bad inning. But again, you don't make it this far. You don't stay alive in this type of competition without some ability to come back and refocus and play to the last out, as they say.
Again, Pacific Southwest with their first loss of the summer to Colorado. They've beaten Mid-Atlantic 6-2 one game, and then last night 4-2 they beat them. So they've had some tight games in this event alone.
McGinnis.
First pitch to McGinnis. Strike, next one outside. 1-1 to count. McGinnis struck out his first time up.
You have to remember, too, that we're dealing with young players who emotionally going through the roller coaster of being down and being up. It probably takes a lot out of them. Physically, they're strong young men. Can take probably way more than we could, Tom, but mentally, the challenges of riding the highs and overcoming the lows.
1-1 to count. Here's the pitch. And a foul into the screen straight back. 1-2. Alarinoff on top of the batter. 2 outs in the inning. Bases loaded. 2 runs have scored for Southeast here in the third. Next pitch by the right-hander. Swing and a miss. He strikes McGinnis out for the 3rd out of the inning. 2nd strikeout, but 2-run score on 3 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Southeast on top of Pacific Southwest, 2-0. To the Babe Ruth League's 2017 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson, Missouri, Ballparks of America. Tom Ladd, Vice President and Commissioner of the Babe Ruth League. Robert Faraday is alongside. 2-0 Southeast jumps on top of Pacific Southwest from Hawaii, but this game is far from over, Robert.
Yeah, I think Florida has just made the most of their opportunities, took advantage of what Hawaii gave them, but I don't feel that Hawaii feels they're out of this in any way, shape, or form. So a lot of game left.
Cal Ripken Jr., of course, the organization named after the Iron Man, 21 years in Major League Baseball.
We were very fortunate. Babe Ruth League, as a business, has 2 icons that kind of, in Babe Ruth and Cal, but in all honesty, we started the affiliation with Cal's family with Cal Sr. Cal did a lot of clinics for us. He was phenomenal. He is the best compliment I could give him. 2 things. 1, he's a baseball man. He is the game epitomized what it was to be a baseball man. And 2, he was a family man. His wife Vi and Cal Sr. raised a great family. And we're very fortunate to be affiliated with Cal Jr. Billy Ripken, MLB TV, a super baseball guy, and the rest of the family, Ellie, Fred, grandkids now are coming along. It's a baseball family, and that's what Babe Ruth League is. We feel like we're a big family across the country, so you could not ask for 2 greater, again, icons of the game to allow us to use their name to promote and spread community-based baseball. Cal's responsibilities as a U.S. ambassador for sport and working with the Major League Baseball as a youth ambassador, he lives the game every day.
Strikeout to the leadoff man here in the 3rd inning. That is Kyler Tallman. That's the 4th strikeout now for Rollins, and it'll bring up Jaden Miranda here in the 3rd inning.
Cal and Billy, great baseball guys, great Major League careers, obviously won a Hall of Famer, but I might describe them as a little bit of scientists too, which Billy would laugh at, but they tinkered with the game to find out what would be the optimum distance to really start playing traditional baseball, Major League Baseball type rules. How far back should the mound move? How far should the bases? So moving to a 50-foot mound and 70-foot base.
Swing and a shot to shallow left. Shortstop ranging out. Kyson Witherspoon, good wheels there. Makes the catch in shallow left field for the second out.
They really studied it very hard. We had a lot of meetings to review that kind of data and made a decision. Babe Ruth League made a decision to take this division of players to the 70-foot, and you see the results here. Leading off, stealing, set position, bigger fields, and the players and the communities have really embraced it. And what I find interesting, when you move the mound back a little bit to 50 feet, you still have very strong pitchers. We're observing them as we speak. You also have good baseball players that could hit in the lineup anywhere. But in the average local league play, a lot more of our 7, 8, or 9 hitters, because of that little extra time.
Ground ball to short. Witherspoon charges, bobbles it, throws, and let's see what they say on this. Softly hit ball. He is safe, but they're going to call it an infield single or an error. We'll wait for the scoreboard to ring that one up. We'll see the play here. Slows down just past the pitcher. Witherspoon comes in. That's got to be an error on the shortstop.
Slow hit ball. He tried to make an aggressive play. Just popped out of his glove. So, and again, with the 70-foot mound, or excuse me, 70-foot base, the runner's got to hustle still, but the players got to make the baseball play, and just like in the big leagues, it's that close all the time.
Poapawa now batting. He swings at a pitch, ground ball foul down the third base line. 2 quick outs, an error. Trent Ely is running at first base. Zarin Poapawa came in batting .500. He grounded out to third his first time up. Against William Rawlings here. 2-0 Southeast leads it. Here's a swing and a miss. Good breaking pitch, a throw down to first. Ball was there. Tag was just to the front side of the bag. And Ely able to slide around it.
He got in the backside. Yeah. We find that actually a lot of leagues are adopting this down in their 10-year-old division. They just like to be able to teach the game, and the key is to keep kids in the game, let them play for as long as they can. It's a tough transition up to the 90-foot diamond when you get to high school, so having that 70-foot experience is certainly, and playing by the real rules of baseball, it's a win-win for everyone. And again, we're very fortunate, proud, and thankful to the Ripken family for being part of that.
I've noticed
our growth.
The roster limits too. I mean, that you have too big a roster, sometimes it's tough to get everybody in, and that's where a lot of the players end up leaving a little quicker. We'll talk about that next inning as we have a play to end it here. Back to the pitcher. Rawlings throws out Poapawa for the third out of the inning. We have played 3, heading to the 4th. Southeast on top of Pacific Southwest, 2-0. fourth inning. Southeast on top of Pacific Southwest 2-0. 3 straight hits in the third inning for Southeast. They get an RBI single off the bat of Malachi Witherspoon and a walk to bring in the second run of the inning. 2-0 heading into the fourth inning. Nash Beenan will lead it off for Southeast here. Fourth inning. We're talking about roster size with Robert Faraday, and again allowing the players all to get a chance to play and keep them in the game. Here's the first pitch. It looks like Beenan was hit, so he'll trot down to first base. Third batter hit by Ilarinoff in the game. Again, Robert maybe on Highway 76 playing with the Ducks again. You there?
I'm
there.
Here. There you go. Yeah, we allow a roster size of a minimum of 12. You really need some players here. Player gets hurt during the week. You don't want to lose a game because you don't have enough players. And a maximum of 15. Now, we caution the teams, you should bring more players. You need pitching here. But it's always a difficult thing to get every kid in a game. We do not have a must-play rule. We do have the re-entry rule, use player. You would never forfeit a game for running out of players here as long as you have a player on the bench. So,
runner at first here for Southeast. Leadoff man Colin Rust bats, tried to bunt his way on and fouls it. Rust is 2 for 2. The center fielder, he's played great in the outfield and 2 for 2 batting. Tried to offer it a high pitch there, bunt it down the third base line. 0-1 to count. Throw to first base, and he is out. They pick off Beenan at first base for the first out. Nice move by Ilarinoff. Healy covering.
Pretty quick move for a big guy, but he really fired the ball right on the bag.
Little sidearm action. Watch this. He whips it over there, and boom, tags him out at first. 1 out. Breaking ball. 1-1 to count to Colin Rust. I've seen a few of the teams with rosters as small as 12 and around that area this week. Pitch is low, and the count is 2-1 to Rust.
It's become pretty common to travel with a 12-person roster. Again, though, you get to an event like this where you're playing almost every day and having some. It's I guess the nature of youth baseball. You certainly don't want to be a role player when you're 12 years old or 11 years old. You want to participate, get in the game, but I think when you get to the big leagues, having a role is just as important as any other position. Your guy off the bench with a pinch hit, pinch run. Relief pitching now is dominating the game. So, again, the teams that come in here with a couple extra players have a couple extra arms in a blowout or a big win, have the opportunity to keep their players fresh.
Ilarinoff with his third walk of the game, 1 out in the inning. Holden Bradshaw will bat. Here's another pickoff attempt over at first base. Rust dives back safely. Ely with a diving stop there at first to make sure that ball didn't get past him. 2-0. We're in the fourth inning. Southeast leads Pacific Southwest out of Hawaii. We'll look at the pitch count here, Robert. We've got 73 pitches now. We've kind of explained to everybody about this pitcher, Evan Ilarinoff's situation here.
So once he passed the 66 pitch mark, he would not be allowed to pitch again for the remainder of the tournament here. But he can pitch up until 85 pitches and finish the batter under our pitch count rules for tournament play. So I think they're going to ride him right to the end. And, he hasn't been hit hard. Had some balls find the holes in his infield.
2-0 the count. Next pitch is outside, ball 3 to Bradshaw. Hit by a pitch and is walked. And is facing a 3-0 count. Runner at first base, 1 out in the inning. Top of the fourth. Southeast leads it 2-0. Now Larinoff steps off the mound. All artificial turf field.
They do generate a little bit of heat. And for the kids from Hawaii, they're used to warm weather, but not necessarily the mugginess. There's no ocean breeze here.
We can attest to that, can't we?
Branson's got everything, but they don't have that ocean breeze right now.
3-2 the count to Bradshaw. William Rawlings is on deck. Japan won the first game. Tama Hoshiko with 11 strikeouts in that contest. Here's a pitch at the knees for a strikeout. Got him looking. Second out of the inning. And strikeout number 6 now for Larinoff. Right there. Beautiful pitch. Too close to take.
Yeah, it's a tough out, but Southeast has worked the counts, fouled some balls off, and driven up this pitch count for Larinoff.
Coming up on 80. Rawlings batting, 1-0 the count. There goes a runner from first. Throw down to second base. Nice pop for Takahashi. Pitch a strike, 1-1 the count. Stolen base by Rust. Two outs in the inning. There he goes from second. And the pitch was a little high. Another stolen base by Russ. So he's at third now with 2 outs.
Just trying to bear down on the hitter and lost his focus on the base runner a little bit. Base runner took advantage of it.
Next pitch, swing and a miss by Rawlings. 2-2 the count. Rawlings 1 for 2. He grounded out to second and an infield single. Comes the 83rd pitch. Swung on. Here's a pop-up, middle infield, shortstop. Wants it and makes the catch. De Silva ends the inning here in the 4th for Southeast. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Southeast on top of Pacific Southwest, 2-0. To the bottom of the 4th we go as we see William Rawlings, the starter for Southeast. He has struck out 4. Nice looking curveball, great control. He has not given up a single to this point. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Rawlings has used his defense. He's pitched to contact.
You see those highlights. He's got a little late life on some of his fastballs, and they move a little bit, and missed a few bats there. I thought he really was trying to pitch to contact, but in that little montage, he missed him.
Aoki will lead it off for Pacific Southwest. 2-0. Southeast leads this one. Rawlings pitch, the right-hander, is a swing and a miss. Good fastball there. Southeast pitchers against New England, they threw a 2-hitter. They beat Nebraska 15-2. A 1-hitter against Missouri. So solid pitching in this event. Pitch just misses there for Rawlings. He came into the inning with 36 pitches. You see the pitch count there, 38. He's in great shape.
It's an incredible difference. But excuse me, missing the
Larinoff.
Yep. He had that tough first inning. He got out of it without any runs being scored, but he had to work hard. And then, of course, the third inning really set him back a lot.
Pitch got him at the knees on the outside corner. Leadoff strikeout here to Aoki, first out of the inning. 5th strikeout now for Rawlings. And it brings up the aforementioned Larinoff. There's that breaking pitch on the outside corner. Again, umpires, the kids know it. They're going to give him a little bit outside. Here's a swing and a miss by Larinoff. Again, 4 home runs in this tournament for this batter. He has 9 RBIs. Came in batting .727. Hit by pitch his first time up. 1-1 to count.
They definitely circle him in when you see the lineup card, but I think having him here lead off, nobody on, might be an advantage for Rawlings. He can be a little more choosy with his pitches.
Another breaking pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. 1 out in the inning here in the 4th. Bottom of the 4th. Pacific Southwest looking for their first hit of the game off this right-handed pitcher. Here's a swing and a foul ball. The count remains 1-2.
Rawlings looking very confident out there. With smooth delivery, mixing up his pitches.
It is eerie how similar this game is to last night's game against the team from New York. There's a swing and a miss. And the second straight strikeout for William Rawlings.
He's getting stronger as the game goes on.
6 strikeouts now. There's the breaking ball inside, swing and a miss. Larinoff stepping into the bucket on that curve. 2 outs, and it brings up Kyler De Silva. The pitcher from New York that Pacific Southwest played last night led 2-0 into the 6th inning. There were 2 outs, and he struck a batter out, and that was his 85th pitch.
Right.
Had to leave. I think there was a foul ball right before that pitch. Had he struck him out 1 pitch earlier, he could have stayed in through 1 more batter.
Yeah. It's the new math of baseball a little bit. You know, pitch counts in the major leagues are a thing, and trying to help our kids stay in the game. We don't have an epidemic of Tommy John injuries. I think that's a little overblown, quite frankly. But these kids do play baseball year-round now. So the overuse injuries are more a struggle for some of these players. Repetition injuries. And also these kids, they don't sit around just pitch every 5th day. They go to shortstop, they go to center field,
right.
They go to catcher. They play multiple positions.
You're a proponent of playing multiple sports then and working out as many muscles as you can?
100%, yes. Absolutely. Right. And learning lessons. Sometimes you're a lot of these kids here are the pitcher, shortstop. They're the star players, bat 3rd or 4th, but you may play another sport where you're not the star. Learning those dynamics of a team and culture are just as important as you learn your lessons in life.
3-0 the count to De Silva here. And this one way over the head of the batter and the catcher and the umpire.
Just a bit outside.
Yep. A walk, and that's the first one issued now by Rawlings. And it'll bring up Zekahire Takashi, who struck out his first time up. Rawlings will do a little maintenance with his spike. Runner at first, just the second base runner. Actually 3rd, there was an error as well. So De Silva takes a lead at first base. 2 outs in the inning. Bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Southeast. Pitch to Takahashi. Runner goes. Throw down to second base. And sliding underneath the tag is De Silva with a stolen base. Bang, bang play there. Tough catcher. Good pop time there.
He came up, got rid of it, just got in there.
Runner at second. Pitch in there for a strike. Takahashi, and the count is 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. Next one by Rawlings. He checked the runner at second base. De Silva gets back. Nobody covering defensively. Takahashi 0 for 1 in the game. Rawlings from the stretch, the pitch, fouled straight back into the screen. 1-2 the count.
Just up a little bit. Tried to make something happen.
Four hits for Southeast. Pacific Southwest looking for their first in the game. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball. Struck him out. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Rawlings. He now has 7 through 4 innings. 2-0 Southeast on top of Pacific Southwest.
And 10.
Joined by Vice President and Commissioner of the Babe Ruth League, Robert Faraday. Erin Summers, our sideline reporter, and she has another special guest. Erin?
Well, we know that the Babe Ruth League depends on a lot of their volunteers. They have over 1.4 million volunteers and guys like Mitch Finnegan who intern in order to pull off events like this. Now, Mitch has been here all week. He's spent a lot of time with the team. So what are some of the things that you've observed?
Honestly, it's really been cool to see all these different teams from different countries, teams from all over this country as well. One of my favorite parts to see about it, honestly, I've been able to do the post-game interviews with a lot of these kids. The way they handle themselves, they're very professional. They're more mature than their age shows. It speaks a lot to the coaches. They're teaching more than just baseball. Some of these different cultures, too. We've been able to see some of New Zealand's culture, a little bit of Japan's culture on display, too. It's been an experience I probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise, to come out here and to observe all these different cultures like that. It's been really great.
What has been your favorite moment, something that has stood out to you?
My favorite moment, honestly, I'd probably have to say when I got to pick up Puerto Rico from Lambert Airport in St. Louis. That was a neat experience to be able to go down there and corral them all onto a bus and then ride 5 hours back here with them, listen to their stories, talk to their coach, learn a little bit about what they've been through to get here. It was a really neat experience.
Well, you did a good job because you got them here.
Right.
Good talking to you. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you very much.
Guys?
All right, great job. And I'll tell you, the interns have done a fabulous job here keeping us informed on what's going on. They have been serving as reporters for each of the teams and really filling us in with all kinds of great information.
Just another part of the whole World Series experience, bringing some of these kids from Southwest Missouri State and different colleges around the country, and put them in a position that they may be in as a sports administration major or communications major, but so valuable. And Aaron touched on an excellent point. The volunteers in Babe Ruth, volunteers across the country, are just the lifeblood of what we do.
See the new pitcher, Kyler De Silva, 1-1 to count to the leadoff hitter Sedgwick here. We're in the 5th inning now, 2-0 Southeast. Missouri State. We want to correct you on the university sorry. That the interns came from.
Yes, I apologize.
Round here, that's a big thing, you know. They had the name change several years ago. It went from Southwest Missouri State, so you knew that.
You know, I was in Joplin probably 20 years ago before all that happened. So, again, at the local league level, the families, the local community leaders, they're the coaches, they're the officers, they're the ones that help the kids just have the chance to and the opportunity to play baseball. That the parents pitch in, not just financially, but working concession stands and doing fundraisers.
Ground ball fouled on the third base line. You see Alarinoff playing third now, replacing De Silva, who is a new pitcher. De Silva has thrown in one game in the event. He's thrown 1 inning, given up a hit, struck out 2, so not a lot of action on the bump. Pitch is just outside, and the count is 3-2 to Parker Sedgwick. Leadoff hitter here in the 5th. Southeast leads it 2-0. Yeah, I've talked to several of the interns, most of those from Missouri State and their sports management program or journalism program. Here's a pitch a little bit low and a leadoff walk in the 5th inning. That's the 4th walk issued by Pacific Southwest pitchers, and it'll bring up Malachi Witherspoon. But you got to have help, don't you?
Well, there's so much more opportunity now in with facilities like Ballparks of America. They use interns all summer long also, and the opportunity to get real hands-on experience. All these young people will be better for it, and again, they've interacted directly with the players and had experiences kind of being there in the moment after the game, the good and the bad. Really a big help. Ballparks has got their interns, and the city of Branson does, and it's a growing industry.
Here's a swing and a foul, sharply hit down the third base line. The count is 0-2 to Malachi Witherspoon, who's 1 for 1. Infield single and RBI. He was hit by a pitch. He's been on base twice. We're in the 5th, and again, these games are 6 innings, so it's getting late.
We would probably be more in tune with getting late in the game. Not many opportunities left, but boy, all it has to do is come down to that last inning and a chance to make a difference. Certainly 2-0. I know Florida would like to tack on some runs here. That's for sure.
Here's a swing and a looper to second base. Tried to double off the runner. Catch made by Aoki for the first out. So 1 out in the inning. Aoki fires it back to first, but not going to get Sedgwick there. And it'll bring up Kyson Witherspoon. He's 0 for 2, grounded out to second and lined out to center field. 4 hits in the game for Southeast, 2 runs. 2, 4, and 1 for Southeast. A lot of goose eggs for Pacific Southwest right now. No runs, no hits, no errors. Witherspoon, right-handed batter, first pitch, in at the knees, strike 1. So Alarinoff ends up going 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, 4 hits. He struck out 6 and walked 3. Swing and a miss. Good curveball there by De Silva. 0-2 the count to Kyson Witherspoon. 1 out in the inning.
Well, Rawlings is throwing a gem right now, and has all the momentum on his side, but certainly Hawaii has not given this game away or put themselves in a position to stay close and see what can happen.
As they did last night. One and two the count. De Silva working from the stretch. Dustin Pettit is on deck for Southeast. Next pitch, swung on, nubbed right back to the pitcher. They throw to second base. They get the force there. De Silva, who plays an infield position when he's not pitching, able to scamper off the mound, pick that up backhand, and throw to second to get the lead runner for the second out.
Not an easy play. Turn a complete 360 almost. Turn around there and get that throw. Good play by Aoki to stay on the bag.
So 2 outs now, and it brings up Dustin Pettit Jr. Throw over to first base by De Silva. You know, the thing about that play, and it happened so quick, but he intuitively knew where to go when he picked up the ball. I mean, they were so well coached that there was no hesitation. Picked it up, backhand, tough play. He knew he was going to second base. I'm sure he had some help, verbal help by his teammates on where to go, but he had plenty of time and threw him out at second base, second out of the inning. 1-0 the count. Next pitch, a little bit low, 2-0.
Again, these multi-position players coming in to pitch. You're used to being an infielder or vice versa, fielding your position and keeping your team, not just as a pitcher on the mound throwing pitches, but making sure that you make the proper baseball plays. So huge.
Throw over to first again, a little bit low, scooped by Ely. 2-0, Southeast leads this one. Kyler De Silva, the new pitcher for Pacific Southwest, working from the stretch. Here's a swing, another chopper right back up the middle to the shortstop, and they get the force at second base to end the inning. So no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and one runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the fifth. It's 2-0 Southeast. Welcome back to the Babe Ruth League's 2017 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson, Missouri. Ballparks of America. We're on the St. Louis field. Southeast on top of Pacific Southwest 2-0 as William Rawlings has thrown a gem. 4 innings so far. Struck out 7, walked 1. William Rawlings, the head coach by the kind of a strange occurrence named Larry Rawlings.
Yeah.
Think he's proud of what's going on so far?
Well, he's probably more nervous than we probably give him credit for. You know, it's so hard to watch your own kids compete, and but those lessons that you get to be on the ballpark with your family, with your dad, with your mom, and learn about life, through the game.
Jace Elomar will lead it off for Pacific Southwest. Rollins' first pitch in there for a strike. He's been around the plate the entire game. We're in the bottom of the fifth. There's 6-inning games here. Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson, Missouri. Breaking ball, strike two.
Well, he's around the plate, throwing a first pitch strike, mixing it up. Again, other than that one batter last inning, he's got a lot of confidence.
Next one is fouled straight back. Elomar, who flew out to center his first time up, is 0 for 1. 56 pitches for Rawlings in the game. So he's in great shape. Atlantic Beach, Florida. Here's a pitch just missed.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Been very efficient and got him into the fifth. And saw for Team Hawaii, they had to change their pitcher after the fourth inning.
1-2. Breaking ball misses outside. The count is 2-2. Two the count. Leadoff hitter here in the fifth for Pacific Southwest. Alan Tallman is their manager. Here's a swing and a fly ball, foul territory, handled by the third baseman McGinnis for the first out. So first out of the inning, a foul off the bat of Elomar.
Not hard hit, not hard to get into the outfield. So
Suahisa will bat now. B.J. Suahisa, left-handed stick. And a tailing fastball there by Rawlings for a strike. Suahisa struck out his first time up. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Mixing his speeds. Got the tailing fastball, got the good breaking pitch. The whole arsenal.
That two-seam fastball just got a little tail on the end, and that's really working for him.
Next one, 3 pitches. And a strikeout. Suahisa goes down. 2 outs in the inning now. That's the 8th strikeout for William Rawlings. And it'll bring up Kyler Tallman. You know what this does if it stays like this, and we've got the 6th inning coming up. Look what's ahead for Pacific Southwest, the top of their batting order, which means Rawlings may have to face Evan Illarionov one more time before this game ends. How about that for dramatics?
Looking ahead, and Rawlings, though, has got himself in a position. He's throwing these first pitch strikes, mixing it up. He's got him off balance right now, and I think he can stay with it.
0-2 the count. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0 Southeast leads it. Next pitch by the right-hander. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from the catcher. And Tallman races down to first. He is on. Strikes out, but the ball got away from the catcher. And a runner at first. And the tying run comes up for Pacific Southwest.
Yeah, that got down in the dirt and took a bad hop off the catcher's shin guard.
You see
not too far away from him.
You see the disappointment there from Rawlings.
Oh yeah, an emotional reaction. He's into it.
Throw over to first base. Snap tag by Sedgwick. Miranda's the 9th batter in the order. They hit 10. Trent Ely is on deck. From the stretch, another throw to first, and boy, he's throwing as hard to first as he does to home plate. Southeast beat Colorado last night 7-2. Gave up just 1 hit in that game. Beat Ohio Valley 8-3 in the first round of the tournament. Pacific Southwest beat North Ark in the first round, and then last night beat Mid-Atlantic for the 2nd time. They were in the initial pool with them. They won 4-2 last night. They won 6-2 in the initial pool. Tight games. 1-1 to count here to Miranda. Another throw to first.
After pool play, they'll cross the pools over, but it is possible that you win your games. You're going to face somebody again.
Reseed everybody after the pools.
Right.
Based on runs allowed, I believe, is the big indication.
Wins and losses. But
well, yeah. And then if there's a tie.
Right. We go first by head-to-head. The games matter. And then if you get down to runs allowed, we'll advance teams that way.
1-1 to count, 2 outs, runner at first. Here's a pitch just outside. Runner goes, throw down to second base, and a stolen base for Tallman.
Rollins seemed a little preoccupied by having a base runner. He needs to concentrate and get down get back to facing the batter. Do what he's been successful with all game. Tough pitch to make a strong throw on.
And again, good heads-up, back-up play there by Kyson Witherspoon, the shortstop. Here's a swing and a chopper right back to Rawlings on the mound. He fields and throws over to first for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning for Pacific Southwest. There was a runner left on base. We head now to the 6th inning, 2-0 Southeast. Babe Ruth League's 2017 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson, Missouri. Southeast on top of Pacific Southwest. 2-0. We head to the final inning. If the game isn't tied, 2-0 Southeast leads it. And tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Central Time, Japan against tonight's winner. And that'll be a great game here as well on the St. Louis field of Ballparks of America. Japan, a juggernaut coming in for that game tomorrow night, no matter who they take on. De Silva back on the mound. First pitch swinging. Here's a base hit for Jack McGinnis. Hits it between the third and shortstop hole into left field. So the 5th hit of the game now for Southeast. McGinnis on. Noah Beenan will bat. You see the high fastball that he handles and hits it past a diving shortstop into left field.
I think one of the challenges for the U.S. team facing Japan is just the emotional roller coaster that they've been on, not just in this World Series, but all summer long, competing in different championships at the district, state, and regional level. So winning this tonight is a huge accomplishment. The United States Championship, the amount of competition that we have here for these players, this is going to be an emotional win. And to gear back up and play another game tomorrow night, a little tough.
From the stretch, De Silva works. Runner at first base. Here's a pitch over the head of the batter, Beenan, and he fouls it back. So he was squaring to bunt, got a piece of it.
Like a protective bunt there.
Yeah.
Try not to get hit.
Get that out of my face. Here it comes. Oh. So 0-1 to count to the number 9 batter in the Southeast lineup, Noah Beenan. Hit by a pitch, flew out to center field. On deck is Colin Rust. Rust has been on base 3 times in this game. De Silva's pitch misses away, 1-1 to count. 2-0, Southeast leads it, the 6th inning. Japan won 9-1 in the opener over Mexico. Throw to first. McGinnis dives back safely. Ely is holding him on over there.
Ely's doing a nice job handling. He throws over the first.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss by Beenan. The count is 1-2. Southeast with 5 hits in the game, 2 runs, made the most of their offense. They've been gifted 4 walks. 3 batters have been hit. Here's a swing and a chopper down the left field line. That's fair. Runner McGinnis rounding second, fourth, third, and it'll be a double off the bat of the number 9 batter, Noah Beenan. He's on at second base with nobody out. Runners at second and third here for Southeast, trying to tag on a couple more runs here in this 6th inning.
Maybe they know who's coming up at the bottom half of the inning, right over the bag. Their territory. And not being too aggressive. Runners second and third, nobody out. Good position.
Rust bats. He's 2 for 2. Here's a check swing and a miss. 0-1 to count to Colin Rust. Rust singled to right field in the first inning, singled up the middle in the third, and walked his last at bat. Breaking pitch misses a little bit low. 1-1 to count. Came in. He has 3 RBIs in the tournament. Infield is in, and we've got a timeout here. Pacific Southwest wants to talk about this situation. A 1-1 count. Runners at second and third.
Hey there, friends.
Nobody out.
The award-winning Forever Young.
So obviously they'd love the strikeout.
I think they just want to be prepared. You know, the ball's hit. Are we going to, hold the runner, get the outs? Maybe even a situation where we're not going to be the worst thing to have bases loaded, double play balls, whatever they feel can help them get through this inning and get a chance to get up and bat with a chance to get back in the game.
And again, now you look at the offense. Here's the defense talking about, hey, if the ball's hit hot off the bat, look the runners back, then throw to first. Make sure you look them back. If they take off on contact, you may have a play at the plate. You guys got to communicate. Infield is in for Pacific Southwest. 1-1 to count. De Silva from the windup. Pitch is a strike. 1-2 the count now to Colin Rust. Holden Bradshaw is on deck. In even with the bags across the infield. Next pitch just outside, and that evens the count at 2-2. Top of the 6th inning, 2-0 Southeast, trying to tack on another 1 or more runs here in the 6th inning. Rust swings at a breaking pitch and misses as strikes out for the first out of the inning. That's exactly what De Silva needed there.
Yeah, took a little something off it and just caught him in between, looking fastball and reacting to the off-speed pitch.
Holden Bradshaw will bat now. Again, the infield stays in. De Silva from the windup. Here's a pitch, and it's fouled into the screen. Good fastball by De Silva. 0-1 to count. Rawlings on deck now. Next one by the right-hander from the belt. Breaking ball a little bit high, and that evens the count at 1-1. A lot of pride in Atlantic Beach, Florida right now. Team on top of team from Hawaii. Not over yet.
No.
They're excited, but not too excited after hearing what happened last night. Nervous?
I think at this point the nerves may be calmed down, and it's pitch by pitch, though.
Here's a swing and a miss. And Bradshaw goes down via the strikeout. 2 outs in the inning now. Boy, De Silva comes back in a huge way. Gave up 2 hits and then strikes out a pair of batters. And it'll bring up the opposing pitcher, William Rawlings.
A little pop on that pitch. It jumped right out of the pitcher's glove. Yeah, Rawlings with a chance here to help himself and put a little breathing room for his next innings of pitching.
Came in batting .462 in the event. Here's a swing and a foul ball, and that evens the count at 1-1. At this point, if you're Coach Rawlings, you just want pitcher Rawlings to think about pitching, but he's got a big at bat here.
I don't think he'd like a hit.
Sure. Pitch just inside, 2-1 to count. De Silva just rearing back and throwing BBs, isn't he?
Yeah. Got himself in a little hot water and going to power through it.
Breaking ball here, foul down the third baseline. Look at Larinoff make that play.
Ready to look a little Manny Machado type play there, didn't he?
2-2 the count. Cat Quick at third base. Here's a 2-2 by De Silva. Swung on and hit right back to De Silva. He throws over to first base. 2 hits to start the inning, both stranded for De Silva. That ought to give this Pacific Southwest team a little momentum heading into the bottom of the 6th, trailing 2-0 to Southeast. Welcome back to the Babe Ruth League 2017 Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson, Missouri. 2-0 Southeast, and there is your story. William Rawlings heading into the bottom of the 6th inning, the final half inning of the game. 2-0, and a lot of goose eggs on the board right now for Pacific Southwest. What a job he has done on the mound. He hasn't been overpowering. He's got a good curveball. He's been around the plate.
I think I'm more impressed with his composure, his ability just to slow down a little bit, not get caught up in the moment. Got a little disappointed when that third strike resulted in a runner advancing to first, but he regrouped, and here we go.
Trent Ely leads it off. Bottom of the 6th, 2-0 Southeast. Rawlings' first pitch of this 6th inning. Swung on. Here's a tapper just past him. Second baseman picks it up and throws him out. Bradshaw with the play. One pitch, one out.
Very efficient. He's been around the plate. He's been throwing first pitch strikes.
And it'll bring up the leadoff man. Popa will bat here. 0 for 2 in the game. Rawlings' pitch is outside. 1-0 the count. Next one by the right-hander is outside even farther. 2-0 the count.
I'd put a little something extra on that one, maybe. Just held on to it too long.
Poapawa, 500 batting average in the tournament, 3 home runs. You get to the top of this Pacific Southwest lineup, they have hit 11 homers in this tournament. You've got to be careful. 2-0 count. Rawlings next, swung on here. That shows you the type of power we're talking about. That was a foul ball, but lots of distance. Poapawa, 2-1 to count now. Rawlings next. High and tight. Ball 3. Tough not to think about a situation like this as a youngster.
Yeah, I don't think he's thinking about it. I think the Hawaii fans certainly.
Swing and a miss by Poapawa.
Like
the count is full.
They'd like to have a few runners on and give themselves a chance at taking a hack, but this young man has really done a great job. And
here's a swing, another chopper to second base. Bradshaw in front of it, throws over to first, and he's safe. Poapawa with good speed beats it out, an infield single. The first hit given up by Rawlings, and it was an infield single. So that part of it is over with. Now you got to hang on, and beats it out.
I think the second baseman took a step back and allowed the ball to play him or come to him, and there's not enough time there.
Throw over to first base. Poapawa gets back. Well,
I think you'd love to throw a no-hitter in a championship game. You'd more likely like to have the win, right?
That's what I was just saying. Forget about the no now. It's over.
We didn't bring it up, Tom. You didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up.
Aoki bats. He's 0 for 2. The pair of strikeouts. The bad thing is what's looming on deck for Pacific Southwest. You say bad thing if you're Rawlings and Southeast. People here remember that game last night. There was not a lot going on until Ilarinoff came up to the plate with the bases loaded. And this place went crazy. First pitch, he banged out of the ballpark. He's leading the cheers right now in the on-deck circle. 0-1 to count to Aoki. Rawlings from the stretch. Another throw to first. Poapawa dives back safely. 2-0 our score. Now the theatrics. Last half inning of the game. Here's a pitch. Ground ball again up the middle. And off the glove of the shortstop. He was hanging around the bag. Does this have a little bit of last night? 2 runners on. And Ilarinoff will step in and bat. An error on the shortstop. Runners at first and second. 1 out. And Evan Ilarinoff steps in. 0 for 1. Struck out, was hit by a pitch. Shortstop Witherspoon looked like he was hanging around the bag, was going to try and catch the ball and then step back and get the bag for the force, but got to make the catch first.
You're exactly right, and just got himself caught in between trying to do two things. Got the rally caps on down in the Hawaii dugout, and we're saying there's a chance.
Alarinoff will dig in. He's been in this position before. Not too long ago.
I think they may just put him on.
Steps out. Rawlings calls his catcher out. This could be one of those intentional, unintentional walks here by Rawlings, but there's only one out in the inning, so
yeah, that's true.
You're loading the bases for
anything can happen then, right? So go get him. Pitch a heck of a game all game.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. Fastball's a strike at the knees. 0-1 to count.
I think he was a little surprised he came right down the middle with that one.
Next one by the right-hander as he gets the sign from his catcher Witherspoon. From the belt, double check, now pickoff, move at second, he's got him! Oh, what a spin by Rawlings, the pitcher. They get the tag at second base for the second out of the inning. How quick was that?
He just,
and a block of the bag, too.
Well, he went in between them, but he was just too far off. When he had to make that move back to second base, he didn't realize how far away from the base he was and could not get there.
0-1 to count to Alarinoff. Pitch, breaking ball, a little bit low. Count even at 1-1. Just one out away from advancing to tomorrow night's game with Japan. Pitch is low. Good block by the catcher Witherspoon. 2-1 to count. Japan won 9-1 over Mexico in the first game. Oshiko, 11 strikeouts in that game for Japan. Next pitch, check swing, did not go around. The count is 3-1 to Alarinoff. De Silva is on deck. There's 2 outs in the inning. Stepping off, now back on the rubber, is William Rawlings. 82 pitches for Rawlings.
Couple extra this inning. At the infield single, the error, headed to the pitch count.
Pitch outside, gets away from the catcher, and Alarinoff walks. So runners at first and second. Now, Kyler De Silva's not chopped liver. He's hit 3 home runs in this event and has 9 RBIs. Same amount of RBIs as Alarinoff, just 1 less home run. So 83 pitches, and the situation is this. He can pitch to this batter.
Correct. So he can start this batter. Once he starts this batter, he may finish this batter. No matter how many pitches he throws from this point. You don't want to go out and interrupt in the bat, interrupt the pitcher working the pitch count. But this will be his last batter, unless he throws 1 pitch and it's over. But, you know, he's coming up against his number.
Kyler De Silva, .417 average in the tournament, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. He is the pitcher, too. He came in relief of Alarinoff. So a lot of discussion here. Rawlings trying to finish it himself right here.
Yeah, a lot of fingernail biting going on out there in the crowd on both sides.
Hope you folks in Atlantic Beach, Florida are okay right now. We amped up the pressure a little bit for you. 2-0 our score. 2 runners on here. Bottom of the 6th. This is it unless Pacific Southwest ties. Rawlings pitch. Swing and a miss. A healthy cut, to say the least, by De Silva.
Challenged him, and De Silva went after it.
0-1 to count. Rawlings checks a runner at second base. Here's a throw to first. They throw behind the first baseman in air. Here comes a run rounding third. They're going to throw to third base. A run scores, and it's 2-1. An error on the pitcher. A run scores. Rawlings. They checked the runner at second, and then he threw to first wildly, allowing Aoka to score. 2-1 our score now. Runner at third, the tying run at third for Pacific Southwest. 0-1 to count to De Silva.
I think they would have had him.
Pitch in there for strike. 0-2 the count to De Silva.
Looked like just bad timing on the part of the first baseman coming over and pitcher throwing a little too soon. But they definitely had him leaning towards second base.
0-2 the count. Next one, swing and a miss. He struck him out. What a game. What a performance by William Rawlings. 2-1. And the Pacific Southwest team goes down. Southeast wins it. The team from Atlantic Beach, Florida, behind the great pitching performance by William Rawlings, ends up striking out 10 in the game, gave up 1 run on just 1 hit. And you see the dog pile on the infield for Southeast. What a job. What a performance by Rawlings. And it'll be Southeast and Japan tomorrow night in the championship game here on the St. Louis field of Ballparks of America. 2-1 your final in this one. Southeast wins it. You see the celebration on the infield by the Southeast team. Their head coach, Larry Rawlings. Man, oh man, it doesn't get any tighter than that, does it?
It doesn't, and congratulations to all the teams that competed here in the World Series and all season long, and we have a real true champion there. That was a heck of a game coming down at the end.
Unbelievable performance by this pitcher. Goes the distance. Matter of fact, he was out of pitches. That was it. That was his last batter. Comes down to a strikeout of De Silva, a player that had hit 3 home runs, had a team leading 9 RBIs in the tournament, and he strikes out. Here it is. High fastball to end the game. That's after you thought, boy, he may have lost his head a little bit after that error. He was really upset, but he was able to get composed and strike out De Silva to end the game 2-1.
Yeah, again, I was impressed with his composure, but the emotions of being this young and in this big an atmosphere had caught up with him, but he managed them. He put it behind him and challenged the hitter and came away with the biggest win of his life.
2-1 the final in this one. Southeast wins it. RBIs in the game by Malachi Witherspoon, and also an RBI by Dustin Pettit Jr. Well, Erin Summers has been reporting from the sideline all game long. She has a special guest right now. Let's send it down to Erin.
I'm here with the victorious manager, Larry Rawlings. A little nerve-wracking there in the bottom of that last inning. Did you feel that your team would pull it out?
It was very nerve-wracking. I'm still nervous, and the game's been over for 5 minutes. We had a couple mistakes in there. We got a little tight, but our pitcher came through and did his job and filled it up, and it was 9-1 at the plate, and we were victorious. So I couldn't have asked for a better ending.
Well, you said earlier before the game that the pitching's been good. I think that tonight we can say safely that it was way better than good.
Yes. What was it, a one-hitter? Gave up 1 run through 6 innings. It was fantastic tonight. The defense, like I said, we're usually pretty solid on defense. We got a little tight there at the end. I mean, it's a big game. This is a very big tournament, and it's a big win for either team. So we're thankful it was us.
What are you going to have to do to focus on tomorrow night's game?
we're going to go out and celebrate tonight. And then we've already got a practice set up with Reed for 4 o'clock tomorrow on the Detroit field. And we'll go hit a little bit, and we'll come in and we'll face Japan for the World Series championship. So for now, we're going to celebrate being the U.S., the national champions for Cal Ripken baseball, 50-70.
There you go. Congratulations, and you guys enjoy the night.
Thank you very much.
Well, how proud is Larry Rawlings with this victory? 2-1, edging a very good Pacific Southwest team. I mean, it was nip and tuck throughout.
I actually can see where Williams maybe gets a little of his composure for, because that's a pretty composed manager there. And again, congratulations to all of our coaches that have given up so much of their time and their summer to lead these kids, give them the opportunity to play all summer long, and I'm proud for them and excited for tomorrow night. If we hadn't been here last night and watched Hawaii come back in the bottom of the inning with such a dramatic flare, maybe we would have said, hey, they're not hitting the ball tonight. This pitcher's really got him. We just kind of gave them that 1% chance that anything can happen, and Rawlings stepped up and closed the door on him. He really did a great job.
Well, timely hitting was again key for Southeast. Not a power hitting team by any stretch, but they got their hits, scored a couple runs early, and maintained that lead. And then kind of with the pitching of William Rawlings in this one to pick up the victory. Only gave up one hit, and it was an infield single. How about that?
Yeah, and getting down, as you said, right to the last batter of his eligibility and pitch count. It had a little bit of everything in this game. A little bit of everything in this game, but again, ultimately a deserving champion was proud. They played better tonight.
Japan against Southeast tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the championship. For Robert Faraday, Aaron Summers, and the rest of our production crew, I'm Tom Ladd saying good night from Branson and the Cal Ripken World Series.